What's up, Titans fans? I'm your host, and today we're diving into a huge moment, Tennessee's final preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings. This is the last real test before the season begins, and there's a lot on the line. We're going to talk about what we need to see from rookie quarterback Cam Ward, how the Titans offense can finally click, and which position battles are coming down to the wire on both offense and defense. But before we jump into the action, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss the latest Titans updates. We've got a lot of breaking news coming your way, and trust me, you'll want to stay locked in. Now let's get into it. Some teams treat the last preseason game like it doesn't matter. They sit their starters and coast into week one. But the Titans, they can't afford that. This team needs reps, chemistry, and confidence. Big Jeff has already said he wants to play, and honestly, I think guys like Cam Ward, Kevin Zeitler, J.C. Latham, and Calvin Ridley should all be out there as long as they're healthy. Why? Because this isn't the Eagles or the Chiefs. The Titans don't have years of continuity. They're coming off a rough 3-14 season. They've got a rookie quarterback and a roster full of young players trying to prove themselves. This is the moment to build momentum. Remember, training camp is officially over. No more joint practices, no more heavy scrimmages. This is it. After this game, the roster gets cut down, changes get made, and the next time this team takes the field, it'll be week one against the Denver Broncos. The Titans need to leave this game with rhythm and confidence because last week the offense was shaky. Cam Ward showed flashes, but we saw drop passes, sloppy routes, a false start, and even a holding penalty. That has to change, and it starts in this final preseason matchup. Now let's be real, this Titans offense has not looked sharp all preseason. Penalties, sloppy execution, and wasted drives keep piling up. Sure, Cam Ward's talent has helped cover up some mistakes, so you can't live in 1st and 20 or 3rd and long and expect to win games. Last week, we saw a holding call wipe out a play, a false start ruin momentum, and overall just messy football. That's the pattern that needs to change. Here's where it gets interesting. The Vikings don't plan to play many of their starters in this game. Most of what the Titans will face are 2nd and 3rd string players. That means one thing, there are no excuses. If Tennessee's starters can't move the ball and find the end zone against backups, then how on earth are they going to handle the Denver Broncos' elite defense in week one? Think about it. Last week against Atlanta's backups, Cam Ward and the offense had 3 drives. 3 chances. They walked away with 1 first down and 0 points. That's not an offense ready for the regular season, and it doesn't matter if it's just preseason. Football is about rhythm, timing, and confidence. If this unit can't build those things now, when will they? So yes, I want to see Cam Ward play well, but more than that, I want to see the entire offense step up together. If they can't move the ball on Minnesota's 3rd string defense, then we've got a problem. Because at some point, excuses don't matter. The Titans' offense has been one of the worst in the league for years, and we've all been waiting for a spark. If Cam Ward is that spark, this is the perfect chance to show it, even if it's against backups. Take care of business, build momentum, show us something different. Every year when a new season starts, I hear fans throwing around wild predictions, 9 wins, 10 wins, playoff runs. Let's slow down for a second. This Titans team isn't close to that. If they somehow get to 6 wins, that would already be a massive step forward. Expecting 9 or 10, that's just not reality right now. And that's exactly why this preseason game matters so much. I don't care if Minnesota sends out its 3rd string defense. The Titans need to show they can execute against anyone. Honestly, with the way the offense has struggled, you could argue that some teams' backups might even outplay our starters. That's the painful truth, but that's also why any spark of momentum here matters. If the offense finally finds some rhythm, it could be the small boost that carries into week one against Denver. But let's shift focus for a minute, because the real battles worth watching in this game aren't just with the starters. They're happening deep on the roster. This is the last chance for players fighting for those final spots to prove themselves. Ryan Callahan has said most of the roster is already set, but there are still a few doors open. Wide receiver, running back, swing tackle, cornerback. And I'd add a couple more positions into that mix too. These depth battles may not get the headlines, but they're the ones that decide who actually sticks around when the season kicks off. Now let's talk roster battles, because this final preseason game isn't just about the starters. Ryan Callahan himself admitted there are maybe 5 or 6 roster spots still truly up for grabs, and one of the most interesting ones is at wide receiver. And honestly, things don't look good for Xavier Restrepo right now. Here's the situation. The Titans already have Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, and rookie Jaquan Iomanner as locks. Bryce Oliver has played well enough to secure a spot too. Then there's James Proche, who suddenly has a huge edge. Why? Because the special teams coach flat out said he doesn't trust Chim DK as a punt returner. That means Proche becomes the go-to return man, and if Proche sticks, that leaves Restrepo as the odd man out. Simple roster math, they're not keeping 8 receivers. The only path for Restrepo is proving he can return kicks or punts himself. But here's the problem, he hasn't really been given those opportunities in games. On special teams, you usually want guys who are big and fast, like Cal Mullings, 6'2", 220 explosive. Restrepo is the total opposite, smaller, not blazing fast, not built for coverage units. His only real value outside of offense would be as a returner, and he hasn't had a fair shot to show it yet. And that's frustrating because when you actually watch his tape, Restrepo does what he's always done. He gets open, finds soft spots in the zone, makes defenders miss after the catch. He has natural chemistry with Cam Ward, and that matters. To me, keeping players like Proche or Oliver over him feels short-sighted. 2 years from now, those guys might not even be in the league. Restrepo could be a steady weapon for Cam as he develops. But here's the catch, Brian Callahan isn't thinking about 2 years from now. He's coaching for his job today, and that's the painful reality. Sometimes the best long-term move for the quarterback isn't the one the head coach makes under pressure. As a fan, that's hard to swallow because I'm thinking about what helps Cam Ward when this team is ready to compete for real. So yes, all eyes are on Xavier Restrepo, but wide receiver isn't the only position with big questions. Tight end is another spot that could go down to the wire. 2 names are already locked in, Gunnar Helm and Chiga Okonkwo. After that, it's a fight. Do the Titans stick with Josh Weil, who's got a similar all-around skill set to Helm? Do they lean on Thomas Odukoya, who's basically a pure blocking tight end? Or do they roll with David Martin Robinson, who flashes athleticism as a pass catcher but still hasn't proven he can block consistently? Earlier in camp, I thought Tennessee might even keep 4 tight ends. But at this point, it looks much more like they'll only keep 3. And that makes this game crucial. One big performance could decide who grabs that last spot. Now let's move to the offensive line because that's where things get even more interesting. The starting 5 are locked in. Add Corey Levin as the backup center and rookie Jackson Slater, who's impressed in the run game, and that's 7 players set. Slater isn't going anywhere. He'd be claimed immediately if Tennessee tried to sneak him onto waivers. Which means the real question is, do the Titans carry 8 linemen or 9? That final tackle spot is still completely up for grabs. The swing tackle, the guy who backs up both left and right tackle, could end up being Ali Udoh, Jalix Duncan, John Ojukwu, or even Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon. The coaching staff has been rotating them, but look closely. When J.C. Latham missed practice, it was Ali Udoh filling in. And in preseason games, Udoh has been at left tackle while Ojukwu has taken reps at right. That tells me the coaches are leaning toward Udoh as the top backup, but nothing is set in stone yet. This last game could be the final audition. Now let's clear something up. I keep seeing talk about Jalen Duncan like he's quietly been playing really well, but the truth is the coaching staff doesn't see it that way. If they did, we'd be watching him step in with confidence. Instead, the reps tell a different story, and honestly, at this point, I think it's Ali Udoh's job to lose. When J.C. Latham sat out, it was Udoh filling in. In preseason games, he's been the one stepping into that left tackle role. That tells you everything about where the coaches stand. As for John Ojukwu and Duncan, we've seen enough. They've been here a couple of years, and nothing suggests they're ready to be consistent NFL tackles. That's why I think rookie Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon is a dark horse in this race. He's unproven, sure, but sometimes that's better than proven mediocrity. You know, Duncan and Ojukwu aren't the answer. At least with Crenshaw-Dixon, there's a chance he could develop into something more. Moving inside, the interior offensive line battle is heating up too. Corey Levin and Jackson Slater are locks, which means only 1 or 2 more interior spots are left. Andrew Rupchie has really made noise this preseason. He's been solid at right guard when Kevin Zeitler's been out. He's looked sharp with the starters. Blake Hance was my early favorite because of his versatility. He can play both guard and tackle, but missing time with injury opened the door for Rupchie. And honestly, Rupchie has taken advantage. The coaches trust him, and that matters. So yes, the starting five are set, but these last battles, swing tackle, backup guard, they might not be flashy, but they're critical. The Titans know as well as anyone how quickly offensive line depth can make or break a season. And this game against Minnesota could be the final deciding factor before the cuts. Now let's talk defense, because some of the most important battles are happening there. At linebacker, nothing is decided yet. Early in camp, James Williams had the edge. He's bigger, stronger, and more physical, but lately, Cedric Gray has turned heads. He looks quicker, sharper, and right now I'd say he has the lead. Coach Brian Callahan hasn't named a winner yet, and we probably won't know until after this game. But between the two, it's been fascinating to watch. Williams brings size, Gray brings speed, and whichever one wins, they still have to prove they can hold up against NFL competition. Just because someone takes the job doesn't instantly make the linebacker room a strength. That still has to be earned. Behind them, the secondary battles are just as intriguing. At cornerback, the fight for that fourth spot is between Darrell Baker Jr. and rookie Marcus Harris. Baker filled in last season when injuries piled up and he held his own. But let's be real, he was a mid-season pickup, not a long-term plan. Harris, on the other hand, is young, fast, and learning quickly. Sure, his best preseason play came off a bad throw, but he's shown flashes that you can build on. If I had to choose, I'd rather see the rookie step up and take that job. Long-term, the Titans need Harris to become a piece they can trust. And don't overlook safety. The first four spots are locked. Amani Hooker, Kevin Byard's replacement, Terrell Edmonds, and rookie Winston Diggs. That fifth and final spot, that's where things get interesting. It's between Mike Brown, a steady depth player the last few years, and Kendall Brooks, the rookie who's looked like a heat-seeking missile every time he's on the field. Brooks has that baby Jamal Adams vibe, flying downhill, hitting with urgency. The only question is his health after spending the week in a non-contact jersey. If he's ready to go, this game might be his chance to steal the job. So here's the bottom line. This last preseason matchup isn't just about fine-tuning the starters. It's about jobs, careers, and futures. Linebacker, cornerback, safety, these spots are wide open. And after this game, the roster cutdowns come fast. Some of these guys will make the 53, some won't. But either way, this is their last chance to prove they belong.